Hi, this is Kamal the Builder. Welcome to yet another one of our projects. This is an interesting project where we built a basement. We'll give you some perspectives of how a basement gets built and some details of various parts of when we built the basement. Sorry for the noise, there's still some work going on here. So in order to build the basement, we first do excavation, then we do waterproofing, then we set up forms and rebar for concrete to be poured. All that work gets inspected. The city wants to make sure we are building it no bigger than it's shown in the plans. The city wants to make sure we are conforming to the rebar that's specified in the structural drawings, the size of the rebar, the distance between rebar, the overlap for the rebar, and then we pour concrete. And often enough, this is a different type of concrete that's used in regular construction because this has a higher PSI rating, higher pounds per square inch rating. So all that stuff gets verified and sometimes tested by third-party inspection agencies. So this is how it works. We do the excavation, we set up the waterproofing, we set up the forms and rebar, and then we pour concrete. So I'll give you a quick tour of this basement, just a quick video, and then we'll rewind and take you to the beginning of the project when we started excavation and did the rest of the stuff. Enjoy. Before we started this excavation, there was an existing home that we demolished. We won't show you the video for that, but we brought in this big excavator and a small one to start doing the excavation. We made sure that all the electric utilities were turned off, the gas was turned off, the sewer pipe was disconnected, and then we started digging this big hole that you see on the screen. You'll also see that we marked some lines, so we made sure the right depth was achieved and the right size of the hole was dug. And that's a close-up of the excavator. And then we exported all this dirt in big trucks. We don't have a video of the trucks taking the dirt out, but that's what we did. Drainage is always important in places like basements because you want to make sure that water gets drained away and does not collect and accumulate in one place. So you see this capillary system that's built with really big pipes, and those pipes collect all the water that may accumulate under the basement, and it takes the water away to sump pumps. There are various sump pumps in the project, and a lot of gravel is placed on top of those capillary pipes so that they don't get clogged up. So that's the gravel you're seeing in the video, and then that's one of the pumps there. So basically the pumps start operating as soon as water starts to collect in those capillaries and it gets pushed out. Waterproofing also is important because above those capillaries, and we have the gravel, above the gravel we have the waterproofing membranes, and those membranes make sure that water doesn't seep into the concrete. And on top of this, we'll place the rebar. You're seeing in the picture that people are starting to place rebar on top of that waterproofing membrane. And then that rebar forms the concrete floor. So once the rebar is all collected like this, all put in place, we start to get ready to pour the floor first. And we also have additives in concrete in order to provide waterproofing. So that's a complete picture. Before we poured the concrete, you can see the amount of rebar that goes into a project like this, and it's very heavy, and we called it a boat hull because the boat hull is completely sealed from all sides. And once we pour the concrete, this is what it looks like. And after pouring the floor, we pour the concrete walls. So here we are getting ready to pour the concrete into the walls. These are forms made with wood, and now we are pouring concrete into the forms. And you can imagine the amount of concrete that goes into both the floor as well as the walls. And the walls also have rebar. The concrete has an additive called Zypex. That additive further provides waterproofing, and basically every square inch of this area is enclosed in the wood forms, and the forms hold the concrete in place while it gets cured. So we are walking around the basement, you're seeing the depth of it, you're seeing the white pipe, one of the capillary pipes there. So all this stuff comes together as we pour the concrete along the walls. You'll also see the hold downs and certain screws with those blue plastic holders. Those basically form the screws and anchor bolts and hold downs on which the sill plates would sit. The sill plates basically are you'll see that at the end of the video, those are the pressure treated wood, and the rest of the framing gets formed on top of the pressure treated wood. And here's how concrete is brought to a job site, and then we may go in the back of the job site and we start to push concrete with that pipe that you see on the right hand side. And our excavator is still at the job site. We have a bunch of gravel that we will remove later, and then we are pouring concrete. As you see, it comes under high pressure. It's quite corrosive, so we have to wear protective material, protective clothing, and that's how the concrete gets poured. And then of course we are inspecting it, we are making sure it's level, we're making sure it's fully done. And after the concrete is cured, we are ready now to start putting the framing material on. You see the screws popping up from the concrete. Those are the anchor bolts on which we'll have hold downs, and then we'll bring in our pressure treated wood, which forms the sill plates that will sit on top of this concrete, and that video is coming up. But even at this stage, we are inspecting, we are making sure everything is done properly. There are no places where water can leak in. We are making sure that, and there's a lot more going on. There's some capillaries that we embed within the concrete so that in case water comes in, it goes to a sump pump that's even inside the boat hull. And now we're ready to start framing. So the framing material arrives and we start to now put the frame in place. You're seeing the floor joists that form the floor of the upper story, and the concrete is in place. The brown wood that you see, those are the sill plates I talked about, made with pressure treated wood, on which we are mounting the rest of the framing. That's regular Douglas fir, but below the Douglas fir you see the pressure treated wood. Douglas fir cannot touch concrete directly. That's why Douglas fir is in contact with the pressure treated wood, and the pressure treated wood is attached to the concrete using the screws I talked about. So that's what our project looks like. Our floor is in place, and on top of this we'll put plywood. We'll of course put a bunch of insulation, and all around the concrete also we'll have a bunch of pressure treated wood. Make sure and subscribe to our video and ring the bell so that you're notified of future videos as we post them, and we'll leave you with some pictures of the framing as it came together. And of course we'll provide you with more videos of how this project got completed. So here we are. Thank you so much for watching our video. We'll leave you with some of the before and after pictures. Remember to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you're notified of future videos as we post them. Thank you so much.